Greetings, my name is Ranjitha Elango and my metric number is 830104. Today, I would like to talk about the literature map that I've made for the research course. I have chosen 10 articles to be discussed in this literature map. Here are the 10 articles that I have chosen. So in the 10, I would like to discuss here 3 main articles which I felt will be relevant for this discussion. So first of all is that, can waste aversion affect demand for insurance? Evidence from experiment and survey. And it has been made in India. The issue is that waste averters reject fair insurance. And the research question is that, if waste aversion could lead to a reduction in the amount of coverage sought. The objective is that to establish a linkage between waste aversion and the amount of coverage sought. The dependent variable that I found is that insurance coverage level selected by low to high with premium. And the independent variable is that risk aversion, financial literacy, insurance experience, loss experience, age, gender, education, income level, employment statement, and marital status. And the technique that has been chosen is Qualtrics survey, where there is a software that has been used to make sure that people answer the question in the software for the question that has been said, and for the 5 correct questions out of 9, they will be paid amount of 250 Indian rupee. And the result that I could find from this article is that out of the full survey, which means 700 individuals have been answered the survey, and 28% of that say that they would regret paying premium if they did not incur medical expenditure. And waste averters group purchase less insurance compared to the control group. The participants do not want to purchase an insurance policy thinking that they would not make a claim. The experiment and survey revealed that the waste averters purchase less coverage compared to non-waste averters. And they suggest that while implementation of the waste averters is clear, further research can be explored a way to counter its impact. So the synopsis of the article that I've explained just now is that waste averters mean the person who don't want to waste anything. So it means like they don't want to purchase extra coverage which they will not be used or claimed. So they feel that waste aversion rejects fair insurance. It means like, because lots of people are not purchasing insurance because of their waste averters, then it causes the premium to increase for the insurance for the customers who is purchasing the policy. And the results agree to it that waste averters purchases less insurance compared to non-waste averters. Alright, the second article that I would like to discuss here is how the demand for insurance become behavioral. Okay, it also made in India, and the issue is that chronic disease funding, global warming, and its associated natural disasters. All of these kinds underscore that need for people to buy appropriate level of insurance coverage, yet many studies highlight situations where insurance levels are inadequate. And the research question is that, how is the behavioral demand from a dynamic perspective and role of emotion in insurance demand? And the objective is that to review behavioral advances in insurance and prevention, and to illustrate how nudges could provide the basic for public or private policies and prompt the individual to turn to higher coverage. And a dependent variable is that insurance demand. Independent variable is that annuities and preferences, natural disasters, and ambiguity. The technique that has been used for this is that causal and correlational. And the result is that most of the customers are likely to prefer purchasing insurance coverage with a lower premium or even free. Risk and loss aversion increase the demand for coverage. A person who has problems such as diabetic prefer to take insurance policy than a non-diabetic patient. Absolutely correct. The researcher concludes that the public behavior does affect the demand for insurance. And the researcher suggests that insured person to avoid making false claim for personal benefits, which leads increase in insurance premium. This also recommends the upcoming researcher to further research on behavioral insurance and the use of experimental approach. So to conclude this article is mainly about the behavior of the customers in purchasing an insurance. The example that I've given just now, a diabetic patient will like to purchase an insurance, and non-diabetic patient will less likely to purchase an insurance. That's how it is. Like a younger person will probably not purchase an insurance policy, but a person who is between 30 to 50 years old will purchase an insurance. So that's how it shows that the behavior affects the demand for an insurance. Alright, for the third article, the topic is that prospect theory and the insurance demand, empirical evidence on the role of loss aversion. Alright, and I'll straight away go for the result. The result showed that Loss aversion may decrease insurance demand if an individual's reference point are the status quo wealth level where they do not engage in insurance contract. Okay. To simplify this article, I would like to say that a person who is loss aversion means that they don't want any loss. So that kind of person will likely purchase less insurance policy compared to a non-loss aversion person. So if a person who's scared of loss, so they will purchase less insurance, and which it affects the demand for the insurance in the public. So that's the literature map that I would like to explain here. Thank you. Greetings. For the research proposal presentation, the topic that I've chosen for my proposal is that does natural disaster increase the demand for insurance in Malaysia? Alright, for the introduction, 1.1 Research background. Natural disasters such as earthquake, flood, landslide, mudslide, tsunami, hurricane, tornado will bring catastrophic loss to people, which is not something new to the world. In recent days, countries such as Indonesia, Philippines, France, and Bangladesh, India, and many other countries often faces the catastrophic loss. Nevertheless, to face this loss, something new for Malaysia, because nowadays our country is facing various kinds of disasters such as floods, landslide, and mudslide. Even we are in that situation right now. According to the World Bank Climate Change Knowledge Portal, a graph shows that recently Malaysia has been affected by floods in many areas due to heavy rainfalls. In research from Poly 2021, this disaster caused RM 8 billion loss and more than 200 loss of humans and injuries in Malaysia. Not knowing how much citizens have spent to buy again their necessities items and how many earner of the family are lost, which means the head or the working person of the family. Thus, it is important for Malaysians to have insurance so that they will have little stress on financial literacy. Thus, the study motivates me to find out if risk-averse and waste-averse change their mindset to buy insurance and what type of insurance is in demand to overcome this disaster. To explain, risk-averse and waste-averse means that a person who would avoid risk and waste. That is the meaning of risk-averse and waste-averse. For the problem statement, generally a person would want to purchase an insurance policy at a lower premium rate or at a minimal cost. Yes, right? But the reality is that the insurance premium is higher than our expectation. This is because there are many people with a risk-averse and waste-averse mindset, because they don't want to purchase any insurance policy and because they don't want to take any risk and they don't want to waste anything. So the demand for insurance between public is low due to that, because people purchasing less insurance and the demand is less for it. Earlier, studies has covered a few of demands for insurance area, such as Berg E. Blake M. and Monsik K. 2022, Wong I.P. 2021, and Nebol Sena E. 2021. But none of them have talked about the effect on demand for insurance because of natural disaster in Malaysia. So to know whether the demand increases or decreases, does it change the mindset of the risk-averse and the waste-averse people? So moreover, areas such as which type of insurance is in demand, change of mindset of risk-averse and waste-averse, and what kind of natural disaster losses occur have not been scrutinized by the other researchers. So due to this natural disaster, what kind of insurance people want to take? For example, they want to take protection for their car or protection for their life, protection for their home. So we have to know that, right? And this kind of study will be beneficial for the insurance company in Malaysia for the reason that they could analyze on demand and structure their policies and premium to ensure all level of people could have insurance policy and the company have more customer. So it's very important for the insurance company to know that what in state of mind the public are and what kind of insurance that they want to make and what kind of changes they could bring in the premium charges so that many people could purchase the insurance, and what kind of strategy that they could create, because this kind of natural disaster is something new compared to the previous year. Now is that we are facing too much of floods, so that's why this research will be very much helpful for the insurance companies. Alright, for the research questions, how does losses arise from natural disasters affect the demand for insurance in Malaysia? Does risk-averse and waste-averse change their mindset to purchase insurance because of natural disasters loss in Malaysia? Third is that what type of insurance is in demand to overcome these natural disaster losses? And for the research objective, there are three objectives. The first is to measure the effect of loss arise from natural disasters on the insurance demand in Malaysia. Second is to analyze whether risk-averse and waste-averse change their mindset to purchase insurance because of natural disaster lost in Malaysia. And third, to determine whether which type of insurance is in demand to overcome this natural disaster loss. The significance of this study is to give some rough idea to insurance company to review the premium and insurance policy making and restructure them accordingly to the current needs and wants of the public. And second is to identify the changes in the mindset of risk-averse and waste-averse on demand for insurance. And third, to benefit the citizens of Malaysia in purchasing insurance policy. And fourth is to benefit the insurance company in gaining more customers. The scope of the study is to cover 200 to 250 respondents from Malaysia, and the statistics of the natural disasters such as flood will be taken from Natural Disaster Management Agency, NADMA Malaysia, and for the type of insurance, the data will be taken from Persatuan Farm Insurance Malaysia and Life Insurance Association of Malaysia. Next, for the literature review, the theoretical gap. The theories that has previously analyzed used to study the insurance demand is more to financial literacy, risk tolerance, and loss aversion, but none of them use the type of insurance natural disaster theory in an analysis that they have made. So, I would like to combine the previous theories of risk averse and risk averse together with the type of insurance and natural disaster in my research. Next, research methodology. So the theoretical framework. The theoretical framework of me is that I would like to combine all these 5 things together because it linked each other. Let's start with the demand for insurance. So the demand for insurance depends on the type of insurance, the risk averse, the mindset of risk averse, whether now they're willing to take the risk or not, and the waste averse. Now is that they would like to waste certain coverage just because that they want to be insured so that they could prevent some losses. And also the natural disaster. Is the natural disaster increasing? Is that increase the demand for insurance? So my theoretical framework interlink between each other. So for the conceptual framework, my dependent variable is demand for insurance, and my independent variable I have 4. One is natural disasters, risk averse, waste averse, and type of insurance, because the type of insurance available in the market affects the demand for the insurance, because people have to know what type of insurance available. If it's not suitable for them, they would not purchase an insurance, so there will be less demand for insurance. So same goes with waste averse, risk averse, and natural disaster. So finally, for the model specification, my model comes like this. Y is demand for insurance, beta 1, natural disaster plus with beta 2, type of insurance plus with beta 3, risk averse plus with beta 4, waste averse. And that's all from me. Thank you.